Welcome, welcome. We are here again to talk to you guys about crafting your bucket list. And if you were joined us last week, we talked about our stories and just kind of how we've crafted our own bucket list. But today we really want to talk to you guys utilizing that idea, but really getting into the nitty-gritty of the reconnecting aspect of, having a bucket list, but then taking action on that and moving into, we talked about last week is that idea of put it in the schedule, right? If there's something on your bucket list that you really want to do. So for me, it was a weekend getaway with my husband every year to reconnect. Well, put it in the books, get it on the books, and then do it, right? So, but today we want to just bring the reconnecting piece and the importance behind it, and just all things lovely about honoring who you are, connecting with those people that you love the most, and how much it fills us up. So I'm going to pass it off to Kelly D. She's going to get us rolling with friendships, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, like we were saying, is that planning it. Like I have, when I moved to BC from Ontario, I was in a book club, I was in a dinner club. So now, once a year, we schedule time for us to be together, whether it's on a Zoom call or this year, actually, we are planning a actual girls weekend getaway. And then I'm going to Ontario in a few months and I'm going to go see everybody. So we're really excited about all of that. So it's that reconnection again, kind of grounding you in a way, right? Like I've been with those girls for 11 years, right? We've had like our trials with our kids and our relationships and even within our friendships, right? And we've experienced a lot of fun things and some not so fun things, but we've all been there to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole thing about reconnecting, getting grounded again.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when you go away with your girlfriends or your guy friends, whatever it is, you reconnect to who you really are. You enjoy life, you have joy, you laugh, there's no pressure. You're just being who you are because your friends love you for exactly that. So I did mention a couple tools that you could utilize. And whoever plans the getaway, maybe the other person or persons can, get a map and find out what goes on in that area. Like in my case, we like to drink wine. So so we were always looking for like a winery or a
Yep.
cidery, or if they make gin or whiskey or whatever it is, we want to go there because we want to see how it's made. We want to
Yeah.
taste like the different things, right? And
And you're making
experience
like
the different,
experience. Yep, exactly.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just kind of go from there. So then are there some fun markets going on? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like there's always something to do in any town. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to investigate a bit. So that's
Yeah.
one sort of tool you can do. But also, in my case, like we always organize a massage for us because we all
Mm-hmm.
have, high level jobs. We're always going. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that we always incorporate in the weekend away, and we always look forward to it. So,
Yeah.
find out if that's available, if you're renting like an Airbnb or if you're staying at a spa, whatever it is, if that's something that your group enjoys. So there's
Mm-hmm.
another tool that you can
Yeah,
incorporate. But also there's so many free things you can do. I mean,
that's
it's
true.
free to go take
Mm-hmm.
a walk or go take a hike or just walk around the market,
Mm-hmm.
right? It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be an expensive day,
Yeah, and I
right?
think too, like if you have a bigger group, let's say it's a group of girlfriends and not everybody's really into going and getting the massage, well, that's okay. That person
Mm,
can stay back. But, majority of the things, it's this, somebody's allowed to use their voice and be like, yeah, I don't love massages, so I'm going to sit at the pool and read a book while you get it. That's the point is that you're in this space, you're reconnecting as like a whole weekend aspect, right? It
that's
doesn't have
right.
to be everything I do, you do.
Yeah. Actually, it was funny last time, two of the girls didn't want to get a massage. I don't know why, but
I wouldn't
whatever.
personally.
Whatever. Well, you've never had a massage by me.
Well, that's probably true. Oh my gosh, that's so true. Yeah.
So we ended up finding a tea leaf reader that was local, and she came to the
Oh,
house.
cool.
So
Yeah.
that was kind of fun. Like if you're into that kind of thing, not everybody is,
Yeah.
but I mean, we were able to kind of incorporate that. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, just do something. I remember this was way back, and this is totally not what I thought I was gonna say today, but I want to
That's
say it
how
was
it
like,
goes,
I
baby.
know, right? I want to say it was like either my birthday or something, but it was year, like maybe even a decade ago, maybe not quite that long. But in order to like celebrate whatever it was that was going on, I invited like 6 of my girlfriends over to my house, and I had this like color match person come in. And so she did this like color draping and like matched your jewelry and your clothing to like your skin tone and told you what your like main colors were. We're just sipping some wine and like have this woman come in and work with us. And it was like such a lovely time. And it was 2 or 3 hours in one day. So, it doesn't have to be a weekend getaway, but like we were talking about in the last,
Yeah.
it's just really a matter of that, like doing something that just allows you to be in a different energetic space than your
Yep.
day-to-day grind or your day-to-day needs. It's kind of shutting off the outer world, if you will, and just allowing yourself to immerse in whatever that activity or experience is. I think that's probably why those like paint and sip parties are so
Mhm.
popular, because it's kind of like you walk into this room and it's like you turn it all off and you just get to come back down and like and just be,
That's
right, and
right.
enjoy the people around you and the
Mhm.
activities, or the sipping
Just
a
being in the moment. Just being in the moment.
tropical drink on the beach, right? Yeah, like just
Yeah.
being in that moment and not having, so to speak, a care in the world, right? It's
Mhm.
this idea of just turning it off for a little bit.
And how many of your girlfriends didn't know that they were a winter or a fall, right?
I don't really remember details, but I imagine it was quite a few of us, at least half, if not
Yeah,
more, right? Of like, oh, that was fascinating. I didn't realize that was like my staple color, right?
that's
Or
right. And
and
then even
then
painting. Who would have known that somebody could have painted actually something that
yeah.
was beautiful? I mean,
And I
how often
loved,
does that happen?
totally. And the thing I love the most about the painting thing is we're all painting the same thing, and every single one looked different, right? But they were all
Telephone.
beautiful. Right. And it was this idea of like, yes, because how I see it and how I can paint, my ability to craft that art, which I'm not much of an artist, but like my ability to do that looks different than the next person. That tall building behind the short building looks different to me than maybe my friend. And so it was cool to see that, how we all, we're painting the same thing, but at the end of the day, it looks different because we're different, right?
That's right.
Um,
Exactly.
so on the reconnecting thing, I want to bring in, so, we talked in the last episode about my husband and I, part of my bucket list was to do a weekend getaway every year. And so we have that coming up. And one thing I thought of that would be super fun, and he and I are pretty similar in our likes, and we both love to just chill. So like literally laying on a couch, not even touching, but laying on a couch reading a book at the same time would feel great for us. So that part of, for us, is reconnecting, is just this idea of being in each other's space without any outside distractions. But one thing I thought would be really fun is to do like 2 separate jars, and like him write maybe like 8 things that he would love to do or possibly love to do over the weekend. And then I write 8 things that I'm just throwing out a number, and put them in different jars and then like switch them, right? So then maybe, okay, we have 4 hours till dinner. Go ahead and pick something out of the jar. Oh, it says, let's go for a hike. Cool. Let's go for a hike while holding hands. I don't know. You could write whatever you want on it, right?
Or in enters the sex weekend.
Yes. Yeah. So it's for somebody, like we can ultimately have sex anytime we want. We
Yeah,
don't like, and we're very in tune intimately with one another. And intimate
which
doesn't
is
mean sex,
fantastic.
right? You don't have to have sex. You can be
No, you
intimate
do
in
not.
so many other ways,
Yeah,
but we're very
that's right.
intentional. We have 3 date nights a week. We're very intentional. We can ultimately have sex whenever we want. So, however, if we needed to make this a more intimate weekend, then maybe those choices in the jar have a more and maybe if he doesn't think that, but I do, maybe my suggestions have more intimate, like holding hands, right? Or just
Exactly.
sitting and
I
matching
love
each
that
other's
idea.
breath for
I think
5
that's a great
minutes.
idea. And you can do
Yeah,
it with your girlfriends too. Everybody put in 2 or 3
that's
ideas,
true. That's
right?
true.
You can do it
Yeah.
with
Hmm.
anything. It could be anything at all.
Yeah. And that
I
way
think that's a
too,
great
it's
idea.
like we don't have to necessarily even have the conversation. We just know like over the weekend, you'll pick 2 from my jar and I'll end up picking 2 from your jar,
Mhm.
and we're honoring each other's desires, right?
Yeah. And then it brings
Um,
in that kind of element of spontaneity because you don't have to
yeah,
tell each other
exactly.
what you picked, right? And then
Right.
you reconnect. And again, with the intimacy part, just being together, reading the book, laying on the couch, don't have
Hmm.
to be touching. It's just being in each other's
Hmm.
energy and each other's bubble, right?
Hmm.
Is
Yep.
intimate, right? It doesn't have to be sexual all the time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one
Like
thing
last
I
year,
think is really important.
we didn't even bring our computers. The place we rented was just this tiny little like A-frame cabin, didn't have any internet, had a TV upstairs that had like a VCR, like the kind like Be
A
Kind and Rewind. It was
VCR.
like you push the rewind button and you can hear it going for like 30 minutes. It was great.
Wow.
I was like, this is like straight up. It had a Nintendo, like the old school Nintendo. I was
Oh,
like,
cool.
this is like 80s cabin right here. It was great.
Nice.
So yeah, so you can make it whatever you want. And if,
Yeah, for sure.
if those conversations are hard, like you're like, oh, I really desire this, and your partner's like, I don't want to do that, then maybe that's where the jar comes into place, or the spontaneity piece, bring the jar in and just
Yeah.
be like, hey, you pick from mine, I'll pick from yours. This is what we're going to do. It'll be great.
And just plugging into the moment with whoever
Hmm.
you're with, whether it's
Hmm.
yourself, right? Just plugging in and checking out of everything else, right?
Yeah.
Just being in
Yeah. Which
that
sometimes
moment.
is hard to do, right? Do you have any
It
suggestions
is.
on that? Like, is it like because some people it's like, oh, well, my child's with the babysitter, but maybe I need my phone by me in case the babysitter calls, so there's still some like leaking of the outside world coming in, so to speak. You might not be able to completely shut it off. So,
Yeah, like it
um,
depends where you're at, right? If you're a new
mhm,
mom or your kids are young, or of course you want to have that, right? But
mhm,
maybe taking a bath, maybe listening to music, doing a meditation, maybe take a yoga class or do like a
mm,
candlelight yoga
yeah,
class, right?
yeah,
At night, whatever it is, it's just
mhm,
unplugging or
yeah,
plugging into where you are and checking out everything you can, right? At
yeah,
that
yeah,
moment in that
yeah,
time. And then if you're with your partner, it's the same thing. And
mhm,
even still, if you're with your partner and maybe you have a new baby but you're still going away, like maybe it's your partner's turn to look after things for like 2 hours or
mhm.
overnight for the feeding or whatever it is. Like swap places. I mean, that's huge, right? I mean, how
Yeah,
many moms were
no,
like,
that's true.
oh, it was so great when he got up at 2 in the morning and fed the
Yeah.
baby and I could sleep. So it's just
Tag
getting
team,
into
tag
that
team.
zone. Yeah, totally. But
Tapping
but
out, your turn.
that's right. But again, like that could be, a topic that you may need to talk about to reconnect and you both
Mhm.
get into balance on both of your needs, right? And
Yeah.
speaking up, like using our voice to say,
Mhm.
hey, listen, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overloaded, I
Mhm.
need
Mhm.
to decompress somehow. You're gonna have to take over. Like, let's pick a day, whatever it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
right? So, I like to say renegotiate as you know, because
Yes.
things change and shift all the time. Like a baby comes in, or maybe one of us lost our job, or maybe we just got a promotion, or whatever it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah. Constant.
Things
Like,
shift and change. Yeah, got to
yeah.
find that balance,
Yeah. And how it looked
but
six
make it
months ago
fun.
is probably not how it looks now. So being
No.
able to renegotiate,
Yep,
as Kelly
that's
says.
right.
So yeah.
If you think
Cool.
about it, like what has changed, like from 3 months ago.
Oh my
I know I've
gosh.
had quite a few things, and I know you have too. But things cannot stay the same all the time. So you
Mhm.
need that sense of spontaneity, and you need to like reconnect with whatever
Mhm.
it is,
Mhm.
right? I'm
Cool.
rambling.
Yeah, no, we love
I'm
the Kelly.
rambling.
If that's what you call it, we love it because it's the wisdom coming out, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you guys really, if you haven't done this yet, if it's not in your wheelhouse yet, it will be starting today.
Yeah.
So sit down, go through a bucket list, whether by yourself or with a partner, and just like, what do you desire that maybe isn't implemented in your 6 months, year, whatever it is for you. And then we're going to talk next about moving out of your comfort zone and getting it on the books, and how to step into and take action on that thing, right? Because I can write it down all day long, but if I never take action on it, it's never what is that for me? So we'll see you next week to talk a little bit more about this and get you guys moving forward on crafting your bucket list. All right,
Woohoo.
peace out. See you later.